Are you looking for something to replace the phenomenal show of, let's say, Death Note, to feel the thrill of the cat and mouse chase, the mind games, and the intricate plans? Then I have just the thing for you. It is called My Home Hero. This is an extraordinarily gripping manga in very much a similar way to Death Note. This is a whole recommendation video, but it's also my initial thoughts on the story. So let's look at what My Home Hero is really about. My Home Hero is a story about a normal salaryman and his family, and they live just coexisting, living their everyday lives. However, this ordinary salaryman then discovers his daughter has been physically abused by her boyfriend. So, as any good father would do, worried about his child, he decided to learn up about this sketchy boyfriend of hers. And in doing so, he accidentally falls upon a scheme of sorts to extort money from his father and mother-in-law, who are extremely wealthy, as it seems. But not just that. It seems that the boyfriend is also a part of a crime gang, and to make it even worse, he has actually killed previous girlfriends in a drunken rage and stupor. So, as a father, as a human being, he obviously has fears and rage towards this horrible human being. So as a father, what would he do? What would a lot of people do? He ended up killing this boyfriend. And this then leads to a life of hidden murders and interactions with police, the Yakuza. This is a story in which you don't know what will happen next. It is a story that manages to build constant tension, not giving you a single night of rest, and not letting you ever get bored, which is something that, I must say, a lot of shows do have a hard time doing. You have your ups and downs, but with this story, you really never feel bored and lonesome. There's never that drag period of, oh, well, that bit was a bit boring, and then we got to the good part. It's all continuous flow. As well as this, the story is also enhanced by showing a realistic portrayal of each predicament that comes up, showing characters that take believable choices, be it the right one or a mistake. Also, another reason as to why this has somewhat a similarity to Death Note is that it does in itself have its own kind of back and forth, such as you see with L and Light. You have people constantly trying to get to the truth, and people hiding the facts, standing right next to each other and trying to deceive each other. However, unlike Death Note, it doesn't have any mystical or fantasy elements, and is purely realistic drama, more like a Sherlock Holmes sort of deal. As well as this, something I find really nice in this story that you can't say for a lot of things is that there's a balanced quantity of lucky and unlucky events. So you can't particularly have real complaints about protagonist safety nets, as you see with many like shonen shows and even in other demographics. It really enhances the feeling of realism, the fact that something random happens and you've just got to deal with it in stride. And when something does go wrong, you get an actual feeling of dread, and that's why I think this is a really good read, because with the story, personally, I feel it needs to evoke emotion from you to be an actual good story. And because you actually feel something from this, you feel genuine dread, you feel a realistic thrill, it really stands out and makes you want to read more, even though it's still currently coming out. Now onto some of the artwork. You have some realistic, not the best out there, but it stands out in the point that the realism is really detailed, your backgrounds are nice, it just fits your story nicely. Because the story is so good, in my opinion, that it doesn't particularly need to be the best artwork. So now onto some of the characters. You have your main character, the father, his wife, and his daughter. That's your main family. You have the father, who is willing to do absolutely anything for his family to keep their family safe and continue a happy life of just normality, which is a great aspect of this show, because all he's dreaming for is something normal, to be back to how things used to be. And he's fighting so hard for this dream, even though every time he tries to get back, he's just pulled further away. And when talking about his wife, she is probably, if you're debating waifus and everything, she is probably a top tier waifu, because yes, she might not be the most attractive woman, but if you're looking for an actual wife, she is dead set the one I would go for. But overall, I would say that this manga is a solid 9 out of 10 so far, and I would recommend it heavily. So I do thank you for watching and learning about My Home Hero, and I hope you do read it and feel some satisfaction from the show that you might be missing from Death Note or something in the sort. So please do like and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.